It's been super awesome being a part of the biggest secret, I'd say, in motocross.
Not so fast, Evan Ferry. The biggest secret? No. No, the biggest secret in motocross was just announced a few days ago by Ducati. Like Triumph, they have quietly been developing a motocross bike for 2 years and are ready to take on all comers with it in the Italian Motocross Championship in 2024. Now that's what you call a surprise. Unlike Ducati, Triumph announced their intention to take on the world of dirt back in 2021. And like Ducati, Triumph have been true to their word and are about to launch their new TF250X at EICMA 2023, before taking part in the AMA 2024 Motocross Championships. If the handsome yellow and black TF250X performs anywhere near as good as it looks, then KTM, Husqvarna, GasGas, Sherco, and anyone else they buy up between then and now will be sitting up like meerkats at the first race, taking a very close look at just what Ricky Carmichael and his team at Triumph have come up with. What we do know is that Carmichael and his team are not pulling any punches with this bike.
I think it came at a great time in my life. I felt like I had accomplished everything. So when I had the opportunity to be involved with such an iconic brand, I couldn't turn down the opportunity.
More important than anything on an MX bike, including the engine and perhaps even the suspension, is the bike's weight. While it's often said that the heart of any bike is its engine, it's just as true to say the frame is just as important, particularly on a motocross bike. And Carmichael and his team have been testing different designs and materials with this chassis until they finally came up with one that is getting a lot of plaudits from riders who have been riding it.
So let's take a look.
An all-aluminium frame, or for our American friends, aluminum, is not something that occurs that often in any motorcycle, let alone a first iteration of a motocross bike. Pat on the back for Triumph and Carmichael, who really pushed for this. I can't believe how narrow this bike looks and how mass centralized it is. It reminds me very much of my Husaberg, which is an incredibly compact bike. While Triumph haven't released any specs on the TF250X's engine, there are rumors out there that Triumph want this bike to compete with the 2024 KTM 250 SXF, which puts out an awesome 47 horsepower. And while ultimately that might be what this engine is capable of, I very much doubt Triumph will release it with that power level in the first year of competition or manufacture or public consumption. Reliability being the key issue in the first year of any bike. I expect a reasonable target for Triumph to be somewhere between that KTM's 47 horsepower and perhaps Yamaha's YZ250F's horsepower at 40 horsepower. So say 42 to 44 horsepower. Still fabulous from a 250 motocross bike. Something that can be plainly seen on the handlebars, and whether this actually makes it to production or is just for the AMA motocross, we don't know. But on those handlebars you will see 3 or 4 switches which indicate it has launch control, traction control, a quick shifter, whether that's up and down we don't know, and a map switch, the number of maps being a mystery at this point. Nevertheless, that is pretty impressive for a first iteration of the bike, and as I said, if this does make it into production with those features, that is definitely going to get KTM's attention, and more importantly, consumer attention.
Yeah, guy.
The front suspension on the Triumph looked to be KYB 48mm upside down, the same as Ducati have just put on their Desert X Rally, and also that Yamaha use on their YZ250F. Nothing to be sneered at, and certainly very capable. Despite the propensity of many manufacturers to offer us different trim levels, I do expect, no matter what level you get of this TF250X, that the suspension will be fully adjustable. As Triumph are rumored to be launching this very soon, these pre-production versions must be very close to what's going to be coming out of the factory doors when they eventually arrive. And if that's the case, they look very impressive. Although I don't think we should be too surprised given that Ricky Carmichael was leading the team. Plaudits to Triumph for trying something completely new, and I really hope it works for them. Which of course brings us all to the price, which has not been announced yet. KTM are the strongest brand in this segment, with, as I mentioned before, Husqvarna, Sherco, Gas, and probably more coming soon. So if Triumph want this to be competitive, they should certainly price it slightly below some of those variants in order to break into the market, which of course is great news for consumers.
It's been a long time coming.
Ducati surprised everyone a few days ago by announcing that they have been working on a motocross bike for 2 years as well. What we do know is Triumph can probably breathe a sigh of relief, as it sounds like this bike is going to start as a 450. In the announcement, Ducati said this is a multi-year project that will see the creation of a complete range of off-road engines and motorcycles, motocross motorcycles. But as you can see, they've been very mysterious with revealing any images of this motorcycle. Please don't forget to give this a thumbs up if you liked it. It really helps the channel. And, of course, subscribe. Until next time, this is the BlueMarbleRider, out.
Once again, thanks for watching, everyone. If this is the first time you've watched, please consider subscribing. I do product reviews, motorcycle reviews, off-road and on-road vlogs, as well as tours. Don't forget to follow me on social media, that's Instagram, Facebook and Twitter, and to like, and especially, I'm begging you here folks, subscribe. This is the BlueMarbleRider, out.